coach Kris Wilson of the Bella Vista boys lacrosse team. First of all, how does that sound?
I'm still trying to get used to it myself. It's been fun though. It's been fun.
We saw the announcement. I think it was right as school was getting started. We saw the announcement, and so you had a fall program to lead them through. Tell us about your first season so far.
Yeah, I mean, we started our first fall conditioning was on September 2nd. So here we are. We're sitting in early, middle February, and it's been a lot of practices, a lot of time working on our game. And so I think we're all eager to get into the field and play that first game.
And how intense is the fall program?
The fall program is, I mean, we got a lot of players. We have a lot of multi-sport athletes. So we understand that we're not going to have all of our players there. But our fall program is definitely where we see a lot of athletes come in, and maybe they're starting at a certain level. And by the end of the program, we really see them develop into significant players. And I think some players that maybe started out at a certain level, we're going to see them make an impact at the varsity level this year.
Not sure how well the microphone's picking this up as practice goes on behind us in the background, but I hear a lot of chatter, so to speak, a lot of instruction by the players and the coaches. So how is the communication?
Communication in lacrosse is probably maybe the singular most important thing. Obviously, offense needs to be able to communicate with each other. Some of it is verbal, some of it's nonverbal. Defense, though, you want to hear your defense talking. So something that we preach to our defense is always be communicating. We should be able to hear you, and that's why we're hearing them communicate right now, which is a good thing.
One of my favorite things to watch, and I asked a couple of your defensive guys this, is when the defender, especially the long pole, has the opportunity to attack on offense. And there's a process involved in that. First of all, he's got to have a real good path in front of him. But secondly, you got to communicate for a midi to come back. And how does that work? Because I know that he knows he's going to attack, so he could call it out. But everybody else has to be paying attention and make sure that they're loud enough to be heard, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, one thing I will say, too, about that is, and I've talked to all my defenders about this, my long poles, is I want us to be a little bit more offensive-minded even from a defensive position, and that doesn't always mean scoring goals. It also means being willing to attack, push the transition, push the break. You are correct. A big part of that is being able to understand as a team what the situation is. All of our experienced midfielders are aware of a midi-back situation, and so it's really a team effort, and you'll a lot of times see in a game, you'll see someone maybe put their stick up or something like that to identify that they're going to be the midi-back player.
Open the season on the 24th against Del Oro. Those have been some really good matchups in the past. Tell me, as you get ready for the season, what we can expect on the 24th.
Yeah, absolutely. We did not play Del Oro last year, but the history between us and Del Oro, especially in the last couple of years, has definitely been an intense rivalry. Del Oro had if you look at their record last year, you might think that they are not a great team, but I think their record is not necessarily indicative of their program. They are returning a lot of experienced players, and I anticipate them to be fighting for a playoff spot as well. So this is going to be a big first test for us, and I'm really excited that we're able to play a team of their caliber to start off the season.
We began a new league structure last year. I presume it's the same this year, correct?
That's correct. So the league structure is the same, and the playoff structure in terms of the section is the same. So my understanding and the way it's been explained is that it's still going to be the top two teams from our conference within the CVC that get into the playoffs, that are guaranteed a playoff spot. Sorry.
They are guaranteed a playoff spot, and then there's the potential for at-large or wild card teams.
That's correct. Yeah, there's going to be there's a total of 8 teams that will make the section playoffs, and 2 of those will be at-large teams.
Got it. And that's because they rank the 2 leagues. One's ranked a little higher than the other, so they get more teams in the playoffs.
I'm not 100% sure at all the ins and outs of how they determine that, but what I just want to know is what do we need to do to get into the playoffs? And I think if we take care of business on the field, I think that we'll be able to get there.
Certainly a great season last year, and I know you were a part of it last year, and you got a lot of the guys back this year. But you're the head coach now. Any major changes, or do you try to just kind of continue on with what was working last year?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's always tough to follow a coach like Coach Goldsmith. I mean, we see what he was able to do with the program over the last 2 years and the success we had last year. I think a big part of what I'm trying to do is just keep the train rolling. And there's going to be maybe a few tweaks and changes that we're looking to do from an offensive and defensive standpoint. But a lot of what he put in place, we're looking to continue that. As you alluded to, I mean, we do have a very experienced team. My upperclassmen have been. A lot of these boys have been playing together since they were in middle school. So there's a lot of familiarity with each other, and I think that they've been circling this year on their calendar for a long time as their opportunity to show what they're capable of.
I can remember our first year doing all of this, and that was Jackson Ellsworth's freshman year, and being at Del Oro, just doing the video for that, and seeing that game go to overtime, and then the freshman Jackson Ellsworth with the game-winning goal to win that game. Those kinds of memories are things that stick with you for a long time, and it's just really cool to see that happened then, and just opportunities like that come about for these guys.
Yeah, I mean, just speaking about Jackson for a second, I mean, Jackson's a special player, and I think we've seen a lot of his versatility through the years as obviously on the face-offs, being able to be an offensive threat. But one of the things that I've talked to Jackson a little bit with this year is challenging him to take on a larger offensive role, also taking on a larger defensive role. It might be, he might have to give up some of his face-off opportunities to do that, still obviously being incorporated in that position as well. But a big part of his game is his versatility to be able to play all over the field. So, I would expect to see a big impact from Jackson all over the field this year.
And let's talk about Thomas Lonnie, because he actually, I think it was 1 goal, was your leading scorer last year. Great battle with Max Morris throughout the season as to who the leading goal scorer was going to be. But he's back for his senior year.
You know what? When you return a player that had 55 goals the season before, I mean, I don't know if it's hard to talk about improvement for Lonnie from that standpoint, right? I think what myself and the coaching staff are looking for from a player like Lonnie is now it's more expanding his game, not just about the goal scoring. I know he did have quite a few assists last year, but being kind of a team facilitator, not just in terms of being able to score goals and create assists, but also being able to create tempo for the team, create pace, know when to speed up, know when to slow down, picking his spots, and it's going to create more and better opportunities for him.
All right, and the goalkeeping situation, I know that I think you're pretty stacked in this. If you look at varsity and JV, obviously Chase Jones is the most experienced as the senior. Lev Elliott, his development over the last few years has been incredible. Let's talk about the goalies.
Yeah, I mean, if you would have asked me on September 2nd how I felt about our goalie situation as a program, it was probably an area that I was looking at and kind of like maybe with a question mark. And I think over fall and now through the first part of the season, goal actually is feeling like somewhere that we have as a strength of our program. Obviously, I mean, it goes without saying, day one, Chase is our starting goalie. He's one of our team captains. I anticipate that he will be getting a lot of action, and to be quite frank with you, through the years, I mean, he's put in a lot of work, a lot of time. He's had to take a back seat on different occasions, and I think this is his year, right? That also, with we are looking to get Lev some additional playing time as Chase is a senior. Lev will be taking over next year, so while both of them will play, make no mistake, Chase is the guy this year.
Well, and I know that he's ready for it too.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, Chase, he is he's an interesting leader in the sense that from the goalie position, his greatest strength is his ability just to kind of like be a goldfish and shake things off, right? When things don't work out, when mistakes happen, when a goal gets let past him, he just kind of shakes it off and brushes it off, and it really calms the defense down, right? So his presence out there, in a weird way, it's not really about like barking and yelling at people. It's more about keeping everybody calm, keeping everybody focused on the next play.
All right, so as we get ready for February 24th, for the Bella Vista faithful out there, coming out to cheer you on for that game. What do you want to see from the crowd? Because they make a lot of noise at these games.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think it's going to be a very competitive game, and this is a very aesthetically pleasing team to watch. So I would encourage everybody to get out there, show your support, yell, cheer for the team. I think that it's going to be, it's going to be really easy to kind of fall in love with this team and enjoy watching them. But I'll say, if you can't make it out to the game, you can always stream it too.
Yes, actually, very good segue, as we say in the business. If you can't make it out to the games, the home games at least, right here, BV Live Sports. Thank you very much, Kris. Good luck.
Thanks a lot, George.